Playing of our national anthem, Sioux Falls native Dan Sarr.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red there above their singing air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's play ball!
It was a tough 9 days for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, only winning 1 game out of 8 on the road, but oh boy, is it good to be home. We're back on the beautiful campus of Augustana University at Karras Park, home of Ronkin Field. It's the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Fremont Moo on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the live stream on YouTube. Good evening, Sunfish fans. David Coyer bringing you all of the action for tonight's ball game between two familiar foes. It's the 21-10 Fremont Moo still sniffing out a potential spot in the Clark Division half of the Expedition League season and the playoffs, while it's the Sioux Falls Sunfish who are sitting at 14-7, having lost 9 of their last 10 games, including 7 of 8 on the road. But they're looking to change that and hope to play spoiler to the Moo's hopes of making the Expedition League playoffs. And going at it for tonight on the mound for the Sunfish is Brooks Capel, who pitched in Saturday's game against the Casper Horseheads, going 4 1/3 inning, and that was due to the tough strike zone that was thrown at the Sunfish, but he did what he could with it, allowed 5 runs off 5 hits, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. In 9 games and 7 starts for Capel, 33 2/3 innings, 38 strikeouts, 22 walks, making his 8th and final start of this 2021 Sioux Falls Sunfish inaugural season. He'll go up against Tyler Push, Dylan Sears, and E.J. Taylor to kick things off for the Moo. Luke White, Jack Simonson, Darian Morphew to follow. Austin Baskin, Peyton Leeper, Ryan Hayes to close it out. The first pitch, a fastball grounded over past the glove of Cricket Danielson in the backhand of Norris McClure. An infield base hit for Tyler Push. 6:36 start time, just a minute late in game 1 of this final series of the season from Karras. It's a beautiful night at Karras Park. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Brooks Capel, so the arm is there, and it's working for him. So runner on, it's the lefty Dylan Sears, 82 and partly cloudy from Karras. It has cooled off quite a bit since that very hot month of July the Sunfish experienced. Change up, misses the lower outside corner to the lefty Sears for ball 1. It's great to be home in the Karras Park press box and to look at the beautiful field of Karras Park. 310 to the right field corner, 320 to left, 395 to dead center of that beautiful wood fencing. Push was looking like he was going to go. Instead, it'll be a changeup from Capel. That drops a bit too low, 2-0. Sunfish kicked off their road stand with 2 games in Spearfish being swept, both games 12-11, with Thursdays being a walk-off. Traveled to Casper, Wyoming, played a 3-game series. We're not going to talk about that because everyone at this point knows what happened. Fastball runs a bit high, 3 straight balls to Dylan Sears before getting swept in Grand Forks. Did the Sunfish, which was not how they wanted to end their season for the 3rd time against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Sears, 287 through 47 games as a Fremont Moo. 47 hits, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. Change up right down the middle makes it a 3-1 count. 29 walks, 18 strikeouts. Dean Frazier, Adonis Forte, Gannon Thompson from left to right in the outfield for Sioux Falls. Forte playing to the right center field side of second base by about 3 steps. The one right down the middle, good thing he was playing in right center field. Forte won't have to move too far, just a bit over to right center field for out number 1. He'll fly out to center field. We'll bring up the all-star first baseman, E.J. Taylor. Before we get to him, we'll finish the defensive alignments for the Sunfish. Dylan Cricket Danielson at third base, and Norris McClure will most likely play both nights at shortstop of this series as the Sunfish normal shortstop, who usually switches off with McClure. Benito Garcia left to go home to New Mexico this morning. Had to just get back before reporting to school. Kenneth Ducka, Griffin Hassel, notable players who went home as well. The first pitch to E.J. Taylor is blocked by Declan Beers in the left-handed batter's box, ball 1. JT Mix at second, Jesus Licon at first. Declan Beers will be catching in Game 1 tonight. We will most likely see the Augustana All-Star Will Olson tomorrow night to close out the season, as he caught 6 of the 8 games on the road. Taylor lifts one out of play to the right side, and that's the first one back at Karras Park. Fans, say it with me. Brought to you by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. Set it on the road a couple times, but it doesn't hit as much as it does here at Karras Park in Sioux Falls. E.J. Taylor has had a heck of a season for the Moo. He's been here since day 1, played in 46 games. Tyler Push off and running the throw from Beers. The tag will be a bit late. Tyler Push, known for swiping bags for the Moo on the season. That one is his 30th through the, tomorrow will be game 64. Today's game 63, so through 62 games for Push. Well, actually in 39 that he has played in, he now has 30. Stolen base, and it's a 2-1 count to Taylor. He fouls one off again. It's now 2-2 off the fastball. EJ batting .404 through 46 games. 17 doubles, 1 triple, 8 home runs, 42 RBIs, 36 walks, 28 strikeouts. Went 2 for 4 last night against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. The Moo on their quest to earn that second half spot in the Expedition League playoffs. Change up, curveball, actually. That broke a little bit more than I thought it did. Got Taylor to swing and miss. Strikeout number 1 for Capel. He's been mixing the fastball with the off-speed quite nicely. And that brings up out number 2, and it'll bring up the righty Luke White. From Lewiston, Idaho, Lewis Clark State. Bats .312 through 40 games. Has pitched twice as well, has 2 innings on the season. 6 doubles, a triple, 6 home runs, 33 RBIs. He'll take a fastball low and in for ball 1. Can I just see? Do we have a bee in the press box again? Thought I saw something. That's not fun. Luke White on the season against the Sunfish. Lays off a fastball high. The count's now 1-1. He's batting .214 through 8 games against Sioux Falls. Played in that crucial 5-game series. Well, split up 2 games and 3 games here in Karras Park. And that's what he did the last time. Takes it high and deep to left center field. Forte and Frazier. It bounces off the wall. Bottom of the wall, so Push will score from second. He just missed a home run. 2-out double, and that's what Luke White has done all season here at Karras. He had a double the last time he was here. 6 hits against the Sunfish, 6 RBIs, 4 walks. Honestly, I remember him having a bit more power. Well, actually, I think what I do remember is that he had a lot of power, but had a couple balls that were caught as he would hit it right at people. But this time he gets an RBI double. The Moo strike first. It's 1-0. Jack Simonson, who was a victim of circumstances last time here, got ejected in one of the games by the field umpire we have right now, his first name is Matt, but we refer to him as Bubbles here at Karras Park because up until I think after the last time he umpired here, I didn't realize his first name was Matt. Strike falls in. It's 0-1 to Simonson, who himself is a Sioux Falls native, grew up with Gannon Thompson. Curveball drops in. It's 0-2. .299 batting average, 11 doubles, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs for the Moo, and 1 for 4 against the Pioneers last night. Moo took 2 out of 3 against them this weekend. Spearfish Sasquatch coming to tonight with a half-game lead. They have played one more game this second half of the season than the Moo have. The 0-2, fastball swung on high. A little bit of a half swing by Simonson, but the umpire says he went around. 2 strikeouts for Brooks Capel. He allows the RBI double for Luke White, and the Moo are up early. 1 run off 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We'll see how the Sunfish respond in the bottom half of the first inning in game 1 of the final series of this 2021 season.
Things off for the Sunfish, the second baseman, number 24.
The man who calls Karras Park home during the regular college season, JT Mix, leads things off with the Sunfish down 1-0 after the top of the first inning. It'll be JT Mix, Declan Beers, Tanner Wilson. The 1-2-3, Norris McClure, Jesus Lee Cone, Gannon Thompson to follow up. Adonis Forte, Dane Frazier, and Dylan Cricket Danielson to close things out. Jaden Payne, who has 8 games of relief for the Fremont Moo, throws a strike. This will be his first start of the season. Mix lifts this one into the left center field gap, but Tyler Push is over there with a bunch of time left to make the catch for out number 1. One Augustana Viking to another. Declan Beers has not played for Augie yet, but after finishing up his time in JUCO at Northern Iowa Area Community College, he signed on with the Augustana Vikings and will play there in the upcoming season. A fastball taken low and away from Payne for ball 1. Payne, 8 games as a Moo, made his debut on May 26 against the Sunfish, going 3 1/3 innings of relief as Beers fouls one off. So he actually made his Moo debut all the way back then, but has only pitched 8 times throughout the season. Interesting. 2 saves, 16 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, 6 walks. Throwing from the stretch, the lefty tosses one up and in for ball 2. Last appeared on August 1st at home against Pierre. 2 2/3 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs. 2-1. Fastball high. It's 3-1 to Beers. Declan on the season. It's been one of the more consistent hitters for the Sunfish, batting .254 through 36 games. Grounds one over to E.J. Taylor. The lefty-lefty matchup favors the pitcher. Jaden Payne forces a ground out, and there's 2 away. Tanner Wilson out of Lamar University in Texas had hurt his knee in Fremont on July 11th. Took a couple weeks off, came back in. There is a bee in the press box. This is fun. Love this. He takes one low and in. I think I got it. I don't know where it went. It kind of just like obliterated. Wilson takes this one down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit and roll to the wall. Tanner's on his way to second. Morphew's up with it, throwing, and Tanner Wilson gets a 2-out double here in the bottom of the first inning.
Now batting the shortstop, number 37, Norris McClure. Norris is tonight's
Norris McClure, the lefty-lefty matchup again to Jaden Payne. Tanner Wilson had batted .366 coming into tonight's game. Hits his 5th double of the season with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Norris McClure doubled in the first inning yesterday against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. He takes a fastball in the dirt, stopped by Ryan Hayes. Darian Morphew, Tyler Push, Jack Simonson from left to right for the Moo. Peyton Leeper, Austin Baskin on the left side of the infield. Dylan Sears, E.J. Taylor on the right. Change up called strike one on the outside corner. Ryan Hayes is catching. Norris batting .326 through 35 games. 5 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. Lays off of 1 away. It's now 2-1. 22 RBIs, 19 walks, 28 strikeouts for the Spring Hill College product. And some nice defensive stops on Tuesday against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Change up. It's taken up and in. It's 3-1. Well, second lefty-lefty matchup. There will be a third one when Adonis Forte comes up. Fastball. Catch the outside corner. It's now a full count to McClure with a runner in scoring position for the Sunfish. The Moo took an early 1-0 lead with a 2-out RBI double from Luke White. McClure fouls off a heater. The count remains full. That foul ball is presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Let's get all of them out of the way. Norberg paints. Paint up. That paint up, of course, was brought to you by our own batter, Norris McClure. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. Foul tipped, actually, into the glove of Ryan Hayes as the home plate umpire now signals. First strikeout for Jaden Payne. And the Sunfish are scoreless with 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base after the first inning. The Moo lead 1-0 here in Sioux Falls. Darian Morphew, Austin Baskin, Peyton Leeper to lead things off in the top of the second with the Moo up 1-0 over the Sunfish. Tanner Wilson's double would leave him stranded on second, so the Sunfish bats heating up a little bit, but yesterday they struggled against the Whiskey Jacks, only getting 1 hit. Fastball from Brooks Capel misses low and away to the lefty Darian Morphew out of Brown University. Yeah, that's right, that Brown. He is quite smart, is Morphew. Not smart enough as he takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike one. And I'm just kidding, that was a borderline one. I'm sure he's plenty smart, and he's been pretty good at baseball as well this summer. Curveball drops in at the knees. It's now 1-2. Out of Toller, Texas, 295 average, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 33 RBIs, and 43 walks for Morphew. Lays off another fastball away, 88 on the radar. Man, I missed that radar gun. Now I get to see how fast everybody is. 2-2. Swung on and miss. Capel climbed the ladder, and it paid off. Strikeout number 3 goes to Darian Morphew. Austin Baskin out of Memphis has played in 42 games. That's the thing with the Moo. They've had roughly the same lineup all season long, going here and there with a few of them. Brock Reller, of course, was one that left. A chopper over to Cricket Danielson's in time at first for out number 2. Just one pitch to Baskin puts him away. But, of course, the power hitter, Brock Reller for the Fremont Moo. Who else was there? Trent Sellers, Austin Callahan. Callahan, of course, was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds. So he left. The 2 best players, really, for the Moo left right at that all-star break time. With 2 outs, fastballs taken by the lefty Leaper. Peyton Leaper has been a heck of a infielder for the Fremont Moo, filling the hole of Austin Callahan at the hot corner at third. Change up, called strike 1. And at the plate, he hasn't been doing half bad either. 294, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 22 RBIs. Fastball. Not exactly sure how that differed from some of the other fastballs that we've seen called strikes, but in the past week, there have been severely worse strike zones, so not going to complain about it. Curveball bends in, and it's 2-2. We got Deuces Wild. Number 2, Peyton Leaper. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We got a second inning. Deuces Wild. That's like a Deuces Wild Supreme. Top of the second inning, I'll call it. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Runs a bit high. It's now a full count. It's the little things that I missed, Sean. Of course, Sean Henley, our producer, cameraman, media man extraordinaire, back in the press box with me. Missed him in the past 9 days. The payoff pitch fouled off. Good defensive swing there by Leaper. Went 1 for 4 last night in the Moo's 9-4 win. And in that whole series against the Western Nebraska Pioneers, got hits in every game. Went 5 for 11 in that series where they went 2-1. The payoff pitch lost him on a pitch low and away. Good take by the third baseman Leaper. That's the first walk issued by either team. And he'll bring up the man from the 9-hole, Ryan Hayes. Ryan Hayes is the only difference in this lineup between last night's lineup and tonight's. Trey Nichols caught last night, but Ryan Hayes hits tonight. He swings at one that gets by Declan Beers right through his legs. And swung on the breaking ball, but that'll send Leaper over to second base on the pass ball. It's 0-1. Hayes batting .220 through 26 games, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 17 strikeouts, 15 walks, 22 RBIs. One of those home runs was a grand slam back in Fremont as he lifts this one sharply into the left center field gap. That'll bounce in front of the warning track and roll to the wall. Frazier throws it in. It's a stand-up double for Ryan Hayes. Back-to-back innings of 2-out doubles that score a run. And the Fremont Moo now lead 2-0 over the Sunfish. Fastball right over the plate, and as I was talking about the grand slam, And that came back on July 11th.
Now batting the center fielder, number 5.
And it was actually off of Brooks Capel that Hayes hit that grand slam. So now he has a RBI double. We bring it back to Tyler Push. Didn't really get to read Push's stats his first time up. Had quite a quick first plate appearance. 2 outs, runner on second. Moo up 2-0 in the top of the second rather. Push batting .309, 7 doubles, 3 triples, a home run. Breaking ball bounces far in front of the plate and goes all the way up the netting. On his way to third is Ryan Hayes. And it'll be 1 ball, no strikes with a runner now on third base for the Moo. Push had his 30th stolen base of the season against the... Well, not against the Sunfish. Not 30 against the Sunfish, but he has 30 as of his stolen base in the first inning. On the season against the Sunfish, he is now up to 7, though. The 1-0, grounded to Jesus Licone. It's a fair ball over first base. The big man will step on first, and that'll be out number 3, but another RBI double leaves a man stranded, but the Fremont Moo double their score. It's 2-0 Moo as we head to the bottom of the second. Jesus Licone draws his picture in the dirt in front of his host family, right in front of us. Gail and her husband, they've been doing such a great job this year, helping out with some of the host families at least. She is the host family coordinator for the local Sioux Falls Stampede junior hockey team. And she is hosting Jesus this summer. The big man lays off of a fastball from Leaper for strike 1, but he draws his picture in the dirt, taps the shin guards of the umpire and catcher per usual. The 0-1, grounded sharply into the third base coach's box, past third base coach Lane Hovde, who of course stands just as still as if he were glued into his spot in that third base coach's box. 0-2 now to Licone. Breaking ball drops a bit too low on the slider. It's 1-2. Jesus started at third base all the way back on May 25th in Fremont. The 1-2, swing and a miss, 83-mile-an-hour fastball. Fastest pitch thrown tonight by Payne. Gets Licone to fan. It's 1 away. But Jesus, Declan Beers, Adonis Forte, the only 3 in this starting lineup tonight who were there back on May 25th. The 3 of them actually started that game as well. Here's a man who didn't know, the Sioux Falls native Gannon Thompson, who takes a changeup outside. It's 1-0. Thompson fouls one off the end of the bat to the backstop. It's now
That foul ball is
1-1. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Thompson batting .245 through 35 games. His first appearance for the Sunfish came back on June 4th against the Pier Trappers here at Karras Park. Off speed, taken up and in. It's 2-1. Has 6 doubles since then, 3 home runs. He had one of the many home runs on the road trip in Casper. Takes a fastball just a bit low. It's 3-1. Went 2 for 6 in that game against Casper, 2 for 5 in Spearfish 2 days prior. Fastball runs low and in, and he'll draw a 1-out walk. But other than that, he finished up the series back-to-back nights of 0 for 2. Did walk on the 4th, though. So with 1 away, he walks tonight. And that brings up the all-star lefty Adonis Forte. Forte, Will Olson, and Andrew Garcia were the 3 all-stars for the Sunfish in that Casper Spectacular. Forte shows bunt. The fastball gets out of the glove of Hayes, but in front of him, he caught it but let it fall out. It was right down the middle, so it was a strike 1. Forte batting .291 this season, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. Went 1 for 2 on Tuesday, but 0 for 2 last night. He takes one high, evening the count at 1. Adonis only had 2 hits across the road trip. Takes a heater low. It's 2-1. Played in 5 games. Had 2 hits. See, that one looks like it's dropping, but it's been the pitch he's thrown the most as Payne. It's 3-1 as that one missed low, but it's roughly the fastest pitch he's throwing, and it doesn't break every single time he throws it. See, that one had a little bit break on. Maybe he's just throwing a curveball most of the time and then occasionally gets up to a fastball, or it's more of a cut fastball, because that one had a bit more of a cut motion to it as it caught the zone. 3-2. Payoff pitch. Taken outside. That for sure was a heater from the lefty Payne, and the lefty-lefty matchup that time, it was the batter who won. Back-to-back walks issued, and there's 2 on with 1 out for Dane Frazier. I think it is a fastball, and he's kind of just throwing a bit of a change-up or curveball when it drops down to about 75. So, fresh at-bat for Frazier, getting his first time around. .281 average, 6 doubles, 19 RBIs. He lines this one into the gap in right field. That'll fall for a base hit. Thompson's rounding third. Simonson drops it. Thompson will stop at third, gets the stop sign. Good hold there by third base coach Lane Hovde. If Simonson hadn't bobbled it, I think Thompson would have been a sitting duck at home. We've seen Jack have quite the cannon out there in left field. Second hit of the ball game for Dane Frazier, and the Sunfish won't be held to 1 hit on back-to-back nights. Bases loaded for Dylan Cricket Danielson, who's sporting his signature teal socks with his 3 white stripes at the calf. Sunfish wearing their all whites with a black hat tonight. Fastball will catch the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Cricket Danielson has yet to hit a home run this season. One of a handful of players for the Sunfish yet to do so. JT Mix, Cricket, and Dane Frazier, the 3 to not have done what many others have done, hit a home run. He takes a breaking ball outside. It's 1-1. Cricket, has done many other things. .371 on base percentage. Fans on a fastball. It's 1-2. Has walked 21 times and has been hit, a little bit more than many other people would care to be hit by a pitch. 12 times on the season has Cricket Danielson been hit by a pitch. So he can get on. He's got the bases loaded. Let's see what he can do. Takes a Fastball 82 inside. It's 2-2. But he also has a nice defensive glove, has played both corner infield positions, and has played left field and right field this summer for the Sunfish. And when he was in left against the Moo, he robbed a home run away from Jack Simonson. Fastball, or changeup, excuse me. That one looked like it had a bit of zip behind it, only registered a 74. So a changeup gets Cricket Danielson to chase away for strikeout number 3 and out number 2 of the second inning. JT Mix, who's not known for his power. When I was talking with Lane Hovde the other day, I said, I really want Dane and Cricket to get their home runs. And he's like, well, it's them two and JT who don't have them. And I was like, oh, really? And I had to think about it. I was like, yeah, because Tanner Wilson got his first one on the road trip. Change up taken away, but it's on the outside corner, 0-1. But we were both agreeing that Cricket and Dane, they can hit him, but JT's not known for his power, but when he gets a hold of one, it tends to carry. Unfortunately, sometimes when he barrels up some balls, accidentally hits them right at people. JT always aggressive at the plate. He doesn't strike out all too much. In fact, he's only struck out 20 times through 38 games. Fouls off another one. Still 0-2. In terms of least amount of strikeouts for the Sunfish, Tanner Wilson is the lowest with 11. The sun has now gone behind some clouds. Shadows have been casted over Karras Park. The 0-2 sliced down the right field line. Simonson will give chase on a bit of a jog. Someone had to get out of the way in the bullpen, and Simonson lets that one fall for strike 2 still. 0-2 count. JT flew up to center his last time up. Tanner Wilson, of active Sunfish players, Will Olson and JT Mix are tied for the second least with their 20. Cade Kalehu of Ahe is in there with 13. The 0-2, fastball taken high. It's 1-2. But in this game 1 of the final series of the inaugural 2021 Sioux Falls Sunfish season, it looks quite a bit different than that of the opening day roster. 1-2 on the foul ball. That first game, 8 runs off 11 hits, no errors for the Fremont Moo in their victory against the Sunfish, who went 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, 12 left on base. Fastball inside on the late swing, jams Mix. He stays alive at 1-2. Starting pitcher was Mitch Stone, who went 3 innings. The lineup looked like Benito Garcia, Declan Beers, and Zeph Hoffpower, the 1-2-3. The 1-2, fouled off again by JT. Good defensive swing, chased a changeup up and away. A long at-bat for Mix. That foul ball was pitch number 8. So Declan, in the first game ever played against the Moo and the first game of this final series, bats second. How about that? But he was playing right field in that opening series. Fastball left down the middle of the plates, fouled off again for JT. That'll be pitch number 9. We'll see a 10-pitch at-bat from Jaden Payne. That brought the pitch count up to 46 through 1 2/3 innings. Mix rips this one into left field, but it'll be easy work for Darian Morphew. A long at-bat, and he rips a changeup into left field. Unfortunately, it's caught. A fly out to left leaves the bases loaded. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 left on base after 2 full innings from Karras. It's the Fremont Moo 2, the Sioux Falls Sunfish 0.
Someone might have outbid you in the silent auction.
Here's a man who wasn't there in that game all the way back on May 25th when the Sunfish played in their first game ever. Dylan Sears leads off the top of the third inning from Karras. And man, it's gotten really overcast here at Karras Park. It was just partly cloudy, but the clouds have rolled in. Unfortunately, the word that I have been hearing was, well, there's a fastball right down the middle, and our radar gun I accidentally unplugged in between the innings. We'll hopefully get that fixed next time. But that tomorrow there's supposed to be some very, very poor weather. Changeup misses a bit high from Capel. It'll now be 1-1. And so there's a chance. There's a small chance, as most of the Sunfish team has plans with their flights or their driving out on Sunday after the final game of the season. Curveball bounces in the dirt past Beers. It's 2-1. But so if tomorrow night's game somehow gets rained out or potentially postponed, well, there's a good chance it's just not going to be played. Fastball low and away makes the count 3-1 to Sears, who flew out his last time up. Tyler Push, all the way back on May 25th, led things off for the Fremont Moo. He went 1 for 4 with 4 stolen bases. Fastball right down the heart of the plate makes it a full count. Darian Morphew batted second all the way back then. E.J. Taylor third. Brock Reller cleanup. Also, out of the first 4, 3 of them are playing in tonight's game. A fastball runs a bit low, and Sears will draw the leadoff walk. The Moo actually had quite a bit of games played in that first half of the season with temporary players or players on temp contracts. And they were quite successful in that first half. And it was almost when they started getting more of their full-time guys that, well, their 11-game winning streak came to an end. That 11-game winning streak, which started the game before they played Sioux Falls. But those 2 games against Sioux Falls were games 2 and 3, wins 2 and 3 of that 11-game winning streak to kick off the season. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Beers. It's 1-0 to E.J. Taylor, who struck out swinging against Capel. Alex Naran, Trey Nichols, Drew Mize, Tyler Madeloid, and Chase Reynolds rounded out that Fremont Moo lineup. Fastball gets a punch in the glove of Brooks Capel. It slipped out of his hand, it must have, up and in. 2-0 now. I think he's frustrated that he's struggling to find the zone tonight. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 RBI doubles. The 2-0 to E.J. Taylor grounded sharply to the top of the Fremont Moo dugout and now rolls back into the field of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless Drew Mize is also still on their team currently. I believe 5 out of their opening day lineup are currently still on their roster, if I'm not mistaken. Swing and a miss on a ball low makes it 2-2. Leadoff man has gotten aboard twice for the Moo. A single by Tyler Push and a walk by Dylan Sears. The 2-2 on the curveball doesn't break in. It's now a full count once more. We talked about how Jaden Payne's count was getting up there. Capel through 2 innings is up to 45 pitches. Here's the payoff to Taylor. Fastball laid off low. He misses. It's another walk. Top of the 3rd inning. Moo already up 2-0. I'll check the rest of the forecast. I guess what I'm seeing is it's supposed to just be cloudy. No rain until 4 a.m. Tomorrow, thunderstorm supposed to begin at 6. So we should be able to finish this one tonight. Luke White had his RBI double back in the 1st inning. Fouls off the first pitch he sees. 1 run in the 1st, 1 run in the 2nd. 3 hits throughout this ball game for the Moo. The 0-1 curveball swung on and missed. It's 0-2. The Sunfish have not scored a run since the third inning of Tuesday's game against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, a game in which they lost 3-1. The only run scored was a sacrifice fly by Benito Garcia that plated JT Mix. The 0-2 to White. Taken in the dirt, blocked by Beers. It rolls up the third base line. Sears was looking like he was going to take off, but heads back. It's 1-2. Sunfish and the Moo have their final game tomorrow, while the rest of the final series across the Expedition League are the Canyon County Spuds and the Badlands Big Sticks, the Spearfish Sasquatch and the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, the Western Nebraska Pioneers, Casper Horseheads, and Spearfish... Oh, I already said the Spearfish Sasquatch and Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. I was about to say, that sounded like one too many teams. The Sioux Valley Sabre Dogs have a long weekend before they face the Badlands Big Sticks in the playoffs. A chopper, slow roller to third, gloved by Cricket Danielson. The arm, got it in time. Luke White was thinking he was going to have an infield base hit. He almost looks like he's limping back to grab his bat. Hopefully he's okay, unless he's just slowly jogging. A 5-3 fielder's choice takes away a double play opportunity with just one out, as Dylan Sears and E.J. Taylor are both in scoring position for Jack Simonson. Took 3 pitches to strike out Simonson, his first time up in the first inning. Again, Sunfish, black hats, orange S, teal F, teal brim. White tops, orange Sioux, teal falls across the chest, orange numbers trimmed in black on the front and back. Curveball called a strike. Teal right sleeve, orange left with the Sunfish logo on the left orange sleeve with white pants, black trim down the sides. Norris McClure wearing his pants high with black socks revealed underneath. Fastball taken for a ball by Jack Simonson. Brooks Capel wearing his pants knee high with black stirrups underneath. Fremont Moo wearing their all-purple hats with the cow logo on the front. Fastball inside, swung on and missed. Blew it by Simonson, and if that radar gun was working, I believe it would say 90-91. The Moo wearing their orange tops with the Moo logo on the upper left part, right above the chest. Purple numbers diagonal right from those. Curveball drops in just a bit high, taken for ball 2. Purple numbers trimmed in white on the front and back. Gray pants with the purple and orange trim down the sides. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Simonson. Got him with the curveball. He swung on and missed. 2 strikeouts for Simonson. 4 strikeouts for Capel. There's 2 away in the top of the third inning. It's the lefty Darian Morphew. Struck out swinging. Back in the second inning. But so, of course, originally it was the Mining City Tommyknockers and the Hastings Sodbusters who had to call their seasons early. Curveball called a strike on the outside corner to the lefty Morphew. He's got some interesting white and brown gloves. Lays off a fastball 1-1. And so with taking 2 teams out of a 12-team league, well, that's still allowed for 5 matchups. But then the Pier Trappers announced before their game early on yesterday that they would not be able to complete the season due to a lack of, well, fieldable players. So their series against the Sioux Valley Sabre Dogs was called off, and now the Sabre Dogs have 3 days rest before the Expedition League playoffs, where they will face off against the Badlands Big Sticks in Game 1 in Dickinson before hosting Games 2 and 3 in Minot if Game 3 is needed. Fastball bounces in the dirt. It's an even count at 2 with 2 away. So a bit of a stroke of luck for the Sabre Dogs. Luck or something engineered by a higher power. The 2-2. Off speed, misses high, doesn't break where he wants it to. It's now a full count. with 2 runners on. First base is open, so the runners won't be off on the pitch. Capel with a full count, winds and delivers. Fastball foul tipped into the glove of Declan Beers. He holds on. Strikeout number 5 for Brooks Capel through 3 innings. 2 are left stranded. It's the first inning where the Moo don't score. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on base. Moo still up by 2. Due up for the Sunfish. Beers, Wilson, and Mixlr when we return.
Leading things off for the Sunfish, the catcher, number 3, Declan Beers.
Declan Beers leads things off for the Sunfish in the top of the third, or bottom of the third inning. We've been on the road for such a long time, I'm used to saying top. Nope. Sunfish bats second in this one as they return home for their final 2 games. Jaden Payne still on the mound. Beers swings on the first pitch he sees. It's behind the plate. Running over is Hayes. He'll have room. He'll slide, but miss it just shy of the cement backstop here at Karras. Beers grounded out to E.J. Taylor at first in the first inning. Sunfish down 2-0. Brooks Capel walked the first 2 guys aboard, but went 3 up, 3 down after. He's allowed 3 hits through 3 innings, while Jaden Payne, the Sunfish, haven't been able to get a hold of his fastball. Sunfish have always struggled with some of the slower pitchers. Fastball slowly grounded over the third, charging his leaper. The transition and throw is just in time to beat out Beers at first. A stretch by the 6'4 Taylor beats out Declan, and it's 1 away. Tanner Wilson doubled and was left stranded in the first. He's had quite the season in a Sunfish uniform. And if this is his final one, well, hitting a double in the first inning is quite a way to start it off. Breaking ball gets by the glove of Hayes. I forgot to check on the radar gun in between innings. It's still off. I'm going to step away for a moment. Just had to hit the on button. Hopefully that worked. Ball missed low. But of course, you guys saw that on YouTube. It's 2-0. Here's the pitch. 80-mile-an-hour fastball. We got it working again. Missed high. It's that old, just remember to turn it on and off again. Once you accidentally unplug it with your foot, might as well hit the on button. It should work, and it did. The 3-0. Fastball runs a bit low. 4 pitches to Tanner Wilson. All miss the zone. He's gotten on base twice in this ball game. Norris McClure struck out swinging Got that lefty-lefty matchup. Out of the 3 lefties in the lineup, they are 0 for 3 collectively, with Adonis Forte the only one getting on via the walk. Swing and a miss. A 79-mile-an-hour fastball makes it an 0-1 count. Sunfish, again, have always struggled with some of that slower pitching this season. And Payne and the Moo are using it to their advantage. The 0-1, breaking ball drops low. It's 1-1. The plan for tonight for Sunfish pitching was Brooks Capel to go 4 innings. Jacob Lassier to come in, relieve 2. Austin Oblast, 2, or John Baker, 2. Austin Oblast getting 1. Fastball fouled off, presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. That was the plan, but according to the notes left by Walker Bullington, it's pitchers can go longer if need be and shorter if need be, so those are just tentative plans. The 1-2, thrown a bit too hard by Payne. It runs outside, 2-2. Sunfish fans and Moo fans alike, comment in the YouTube comment section or even on Mixlr where you're listening from. Curveball drops too low in the dirt. It's a full count. Let us know where you're listening from. Might get a shout out. It's one of the last times we get to do this. Let me know where all you Sunfish and Moo fans are supporting your Expedition League teams in this final series of the season. The payoff to McClure. Foul down the third baseline. Lane Hovde fields it and throws it back to the pitcher. Wow. When do you usually see him move at third base? Not too much. Still got that steady glove. Well, except this time it was bare hands. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. McClure goes down swinging twice in back-to-back at-bats. That's strikeout number 4 for Payne through 2 2/3 innings. Jesus Licone struck out swinging his last time up, and he steps up. He's sporting pink cleats, and I can't say I've ever seen those this season. Swings on a fastball low for strike 1. They work, all white with the pink cleats. I like it. Changing things up. Pitch was inside. He fouls it off of his shin. Thank goodness he's got that shin guard on the left ankle. Well, left leg. Counts now 0-2. Come on, fans. Let me know where you're listening from. Maybe you'll get a shout out. Where you've been supporting your Sioux Falls Sunfish, or for you Moo fans tuning in, where you've been supporting your team, your sons, your nephews, grandsons. Put in the YouTube chat. Or even the Mixlr chat. Let me know where you're listening from. Throw over to first. Wilson didn't look like he was leaving anytime soon. It's almost just to keep him close, though. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The lights are on at Karras. And a slider runs a bit low and in. 1-2. Experienced quite a few fun moments here at Karras. The 1-2. Wilson was off and running. Licone lifts this into right field. Jack Simonson will make the catch 2 feet in front of the warning track. Thank you, Chris Porter, listening from Fremont. His Moo are up 2-0 after 3 from Karras. Brooks Capel back on the mound for his 4th inning of work, has 5 strikeouts. Rolling with the strikeout performance that Andrew Garcia had last night in Grand Forks. Garcia set a Sunfish single game record for 12 strikeouts in a game, and it wasn't even a full game. 7 innings, 12 strikeouts for Garcia. He was on fire. The only reason the Sunfish lost was they were shut out for the 2nd time that series. Ground ball sharply hit to Cricket Danielson. Shuffles and throws for out number 1. Austin Baskin with the ground out. Back-to-back ground outs to 3rd for him. Sunfish have not scored since inning number 3 on Tuesday. So let's go. That's 11 plus 7. That's 18. And now 3. 21 innings. The Sunfish have gone scoreless. Have a pair of hits tonight, but no runs. They left the bases loaded back in the 2nd inning. Peyton Leeper walked and scored in the 2nd for the Moo. Takes a curveball low. Don Capel listening on YouTube. Watches Brooks throw a curveball that bends in for a strike. We've got a school of Sunfish coming in from the bullpen. See what I did there? Fastball runs a bit low and away, 2-1. Austin Oblas, John Baker, Andrew Garcia, Andelo Santangelo, Pete Weil all migrating in from the bullpen. This one's launched into right field. Thompson back at the warning track. He'll make the catch. It's right field. That's the shortest part of the ballpark. And the lefty Leeper just missed that one off the barrel. 310 to the right field corner. It was about, I'd say, 10 feet in from the foul line. Thompson able to make the catch. Brings us to Ryan Hayes, who doubled in. Leeper, his last time up, for run number 2. And it was Hayes' double that was actually the last hit of the ball game. No balls and a strike on the swing and miss by Hayes. Fastball low, gets by Beers, and I think that actually went off of his toe. Tried backhanding it, got underneath his glove, and nicked the toes of his right foot. Yep, he goes and reaches for it. 87 miles an hour off the toes. That can't feel good for Declan. Takes it like a champ, though. Here's the 1-1. Sharply hit ground ball to short. McClure up and firing, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Sunfish. 2 ground outs and a fly out. Keep the game 2-0. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, due up, Gannon Thompson, Adonis Forte, and Dane Frazier.
3, Gannon Thompson.
Gannon Thompson leads things off for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. We have A Ski in the YouTube chat asking a heck of a question. What if Spearfish and Fremont both win tonight and then Fremont wins tomorrow? Gannon Thompson swings and sends this one into left field. Just got underneath it. No wind here tonight at Karras. And he flies out to left to Darian Morphew. Thompson homered and Casper to left center field. I thought he might have had that one. Not enough barrel and no help from no wind. He's frustrated as he heads back to the Sunfish dugout. It's the lefty Adonis Forte who walked his last time up with one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Takes a fastball for strike one. So if Spearfish and Fremont both win tonight, that would put Spearfish up to 23-10, while Fremont would be 22-10, so still that half game behind. Bouncing ball gets away for ball one. And then if Spearfish... So Fremont game gets canceled tomorrow. If we do have that rain tomorrow and the game gets canceled. Slider misses away. It's 2-1. Well, then that would... And if assuming Spearfish wins tomorrow, that would make them 24-10 with the Moo just 22-10, a full game behind. The 2-1 taken outside, it's 3-1. Now, assuming, though, that tomorrow's game gets rained out, just assuming, of course, hopefully that doesn't happen. We'd love to play here at Karras. But assuming Fremont wins tonight, Spearfish wins there too. Fastball almost hits Adonis Forte. He likes to crowd the plate, but that one, the lone plate umpire, was just a bit too inside. Back-to-back walks for Adonis. Dane Frazier singled his last time up, now steps up with a runner on first with one out. But if that game gets rained out, I'd assume the league would try and want to reschedule it for Sunday, to which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as most of the Sunfish team would not be here, the Sunfish would then forfeit the game, I think is what the ruling would be, giving the Moo that win, which would then be still a half game behind. And when you ask your follow-up question, do they measure games by win or percentage? Either way, the Moo would be behind on that one. Which is, that's the thing with the Expedition League. The Moo played one more game than the Sasquatch did the first half, while vice versa, the Sasquatch played one more game this half. Frazier swings and lifts this one down the right field line. Simonson giving chase in foul territory, makes the catch. Forte was off and running, but stops. Simonson's throw sails over Dylan Sears. I think Adonis maybe could have made that one. It was a deep hit down the right field line. Forte's quick, but no tag from him on the fly out to right, 2 away. But so it just, the way the schedule is set up, the top two teams now in the Clark division will be separated by one game difference in the first half of the season, the second half. Not every team played the even 32 games in the first half. The Moo did, the Sunfish did, a few other teams did. Some teams like the Pier Trappers only played 29 games, if believe that number's correct. Let's actually check those first half standings right now. 29 games, yeah, well, some teams played 31 or 32. Now in the second half, some teams are playing that one game more, and, well, in terms of final standings, not sure how that'll end up working out. Forte getting a little twitchy at first, looking to steal. Pitch runs in again to Cricket Danielson for ball 2. So to answer your question, I don't know. As with a half game behind, you can't just say, oh, Spearfish has a better record because, well, they played one more game. That's not fair to the Moo. They won, or they lost just as few games as the Sasquatch did. Forte looked like he was going to be off and running. I think he's just trying to force a mistake from the pitcher or the catcher. Either way, I think it got the attention of Payne, who throws another ball. Cricket Danielson's ahead 3-0. So I think it might come down to a tiebreaker of some sort, is head-to-head, which I'm not sure who holds that distinction. Slider runs low. It's 4 pitches to Dylan Cricket Danielson. All miss the zone. He gets a base on balls. 2 on with 2 out. For the top of the order, JT Mix.
Now batting the second baseman, number 24,
I know that might not be the answer you fans listening might understand or even need, especially you, A-Ski. I don't know if I got you anywhere with my incoherent rambling on thinking out loud. With a half-game difference, you'd have to think they'd go to somewhat of head-to-head. I don't know what the official rule is. I think, actually, if there is a tie on top, I believe they go to head-to-head. Because if the Sunfish had somehow been in a three-way tie with the Moo and the Sasquatch, they would have not made the playoffs due to head-to-head, as they only won one game against the Sasquatch and have a losing record against the Moo this season. I had to take a guess at the head-to-head between the Moo and the Sasquatch. I think Fremont holds it, so it would send them to the playoffs if that's what they went to, if they were down by half a game at the end of the season. Hopefully that was helpful. So to answer your initial question, if the game tomorrow gets canceled, with Spearfish winning out and Fremont winning tonight, somehow I think it would end up being the Sunfish forfeiting, so it'd be a win for the Moo, which would put them just a half game behind of the Sasquatch. Otherwise, if it's not counted as anything, they would be a full game behind after playing 2 less games. JT Mix takes a change up and away. It's 1-0. Mix flew out twice. If you're just joining us, the Moo lead 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning from Karras Park. 2 on with 2 outs. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Evens the count at 1. After that quick mound visit to Payne, there is someone up and throwing in the Moo bullpen. Can't see who it is from this angle, of course. Very overcast here at Karras Park. There's a beautiful, partly cloudy start to the game. Mix lines this one out of play over to the Bowden Field softball complex to our right. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Sunfish and the Moo played each other quite a bit this season. The 1-2. Off speed, taken outside. It's 2s across the board. This season, it's been, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 games. This is game number 11. As Mix swings and takes this one high and deep to left center field. Morphew on the run at the warning track. He'll catch it on the edge of the warning track. We talked about earlier this game how JT does not have a home run. I think that's the closest he's come all season. He takes his helmet off, and that's the kind of guy JT Mix is. He leaves 2 left stranded on a long fly out to left center field, just shy of what would have been his first home run of the season, and all he has is a smile on his face knowing, man, I just missed it. He does a little bit of a bench press saying, if I hit the weight room more. After 4, the Moo still lead 2-0 when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. There's quite a few Fremont Moo fans here at Karras tonight, including, well, their broadcaster, Zach Berman, is taking a picture of all the Fremont Moo fans. They've all grouped together. To our left, Jacob Lassier, now on the mound, throws a fastball low to Tyler Push. He'll lead off with the top of the order. Lassier this season, 13.5 ERA through 4 2/3 innings against the Moo. Throws a fastball low and in, taken by Push. Looked like he was about to swing. Check the swing. It's 2-0. Lassier, through 10 appearances on the season, 9.34 ERA, 17 1/3 innings pitched, all of relief, 16 strikeouts, 13 walks. Fastball low as there's a giant moo taken right as Lassier was about to pitch. Talk about feel from the Moo broadcaster. 2-0 Fremont in the top of the 5th inning. Brooks Capel had a heck of a showing in his final appearance for the Sunfish. Lassier's fastball misses in. 4 balls thrown to Push. He gets on with a walk. 1 for 2 still as he singled and scored in the first, grounded out in the second. Lassier's last appearance came against the Sabre Dogs on July 23rd. He pitched 2 innings, allowed 1 run off 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He'll now face off against the lefty Dylan Sears. Fastball gets away from Beers. He'll chase it down, but Push will stand up on his way into second. 5 balls thrown by Lassier thus far. Capel ends his outing, 4 innings, allowing 2 earned runs off 3 hits. Walking just 3, striking out 5. The 1-0, 87-mile-an-hour fastball will catch the outer part of the zone for the first strike thrown by Lassier. One ball, 1 strike, no outs. And in between innings, if we go back to what we were talking about in the bottom of the 4th on that playoff picture, change up misses low. It's 2-1. But what I was talking with the Fremont broadcaster, Nate Rohr, who has been in this league as a Fremont broadcaster for now his 2nd season. Heck of a guy for you Nebraska Cornhusker fans. He's the PA on Cornhusker football Saturdays. 2-1, swung on, fouled off behind us. It's now an even 2-2 count. Also, returning as the voice of Nebraska softball this following season, Nate Rohr, heck of a guy. Also, the PA announcer for Omaha Mavericks baseball. Man of many talents, and during this summer, he's been the voice of the Fremont Moo. But we were talking about, and he says if the season ends and the Moo are half a game down, 2-2 is shot down the left field line, but far out of play off the football complex. Another foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. You know the rest. But what he said is, well, que sera, sera, basically. Whatever may be, or whatever will be, may be. Or however that saying goes. You know what I'm saying. So if they're half a game down, well, they're half a game down. They will not make the playoffs over the Spearfish Sasquatch. And isn't that just crazy? Due to league scheduling, you miss out because you're a half game down because you played 1 less game in the second half. No cancellations for the Moo, by the way. It was just how the schedule was. The Sasquatch somehow played half a game more. Or one game more. The 2-2 grounded sharply over to short. McClure plays it off the second hop. Throw over to first. In time, Sears goes down on the ground out. He's now 0 for 2 with a walk. It was that third inning that Capel walked the first two guys aboard before going 3 up, 3 down after it. Right now, Lassier walks a guy aboard, and there's one away with a runner on second.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 28, E.J. Taylor.
E.J. Taylor. Now up, 0 for 1. Walked in that last inning, or third inning, rather. First time facing Lassier tonight. He's got a heck of a stance. Left foot, push is going. The fastball or changeup gets away from Beers. Push will stay at third. He was ready to get up and throw down, and I think the changeup low in the zone. He couldn't get a glove on it as he was too excited to pop up. Got through his legs, and thank goodness push just stays at third. Taylor batting .333 against Lassier this season. Lines this one into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Push will score easily. Taylor's rounding first, heading to second. The throw from Frazier relayed to Mix from McClure, not in time. The third double of the ball game for the Fremont Moo, and wouldn't you know it, every run of theirs that has scored has come via an RBI double. The other two came with 2 outs, this one with just 1 away. It's now 3-0 Moo as the Sunfish. Well, if their bats don't get hot soon, this game may be over. They have not scored since that third inning on Tuesday and have gone 4 scoreless tonight. Luke White takes a fastball low. And with it being the end of the summer and with the Sunfish out of playoff contention, I think the plan from Walker Bullington was get everybody their innings. Let everybody pitch one more time for the Sunfish, which is all fine and dandy. Capel, I think, could have gone a 5th inning. Obviously, you want to get the relief guys a couple innings. High chopper, gloved by Cricket Danielson on the scoop. The throw over, brought in by Lee Cohn. Had to stretch a bit out for it, down the first baseline, rather. The throw back to second time was not called. I think E.J. Taylor thought the infield was sleeping as Cricket Danielson had come in. No one was covering third. Lassier and McClure had to come over, and Taylor was not about to actually go. I think he was trying to force a mistake. Heads up there by the all-star first baseman for the Moo. It's now Jack Simonson with 2 outs, has struck out twice. Runner on second. Taylor dancing around. Feigns going to third, but we'll head back to second. Strike called on the fastball. EJ has double-digit stolen bases, so he's not, not known for stealing. He has 10. A ground ball into the glove of Cricket Danielson. Another throw over. It'll be in time. But EJ, only 10 stolen bases, so wouldn't think he would go in that situation, and he doesn't. But he does drive in Tyler Push with an RBI double. The Moo tack on one more. It's 3-0 after the top of the 5th. To the bottom of the 5th we go from Karras. Declan Beers and his signature teal bat step up to the plate. This is the second time in 3 innings that he has let it off. His last time he grounded out to third. We have some news from across the league. We talk about, well, what if Spearfish goes 2-0 against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks this weekend? Change up taken in from Jaden Payne, who's out for his 5th inning of work. But the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks in the bottom of the 4th inning from Grand Forks and Kraft Field lead 4-0. Beers shoots this one into right field. That'll be a single for Declan Beers. And the leadoff man is aboard for the first time today for the Sunfish. So 4-0 Whiskey Jacks lead the Spearfish Sasquatch, and that's good news for Moo fans. If the Moo win tonight and the Sasquatch lose, then the Moo will be a half game ahead. I think is that how that works. Tanner Wilson swings, drops in front of Dylan Sears. Sorry, that was just so much happening all at once. Tanner Wilson swung at the first pitch he saw. I don't know if Dylan Sears meant to do that. The ball was lined low. Sears went to go reach out for it, and it almost looked like he purposely let it fall in front of him. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He then went and tapped second base, threw over to first as Declan Beers, Norris McClure, fouls this one off. Lands in the rocks right behind the Moo dugout. But Declan Beers was not off and running as he thought it was going to be a line out and didn't want to be doubled up at first. Instead, Sears lets it fall. Tags second, throws it to first, got Wilson, so it was a 4-3 double play. Quick 2 outs on that one, and Norris McClure steps up with 1 strike. Chops one just out of the bare hand of what I believe was Andrew Garcia. 0-2. Jaden Payne has been working wonders in his first start. Throws an off-speed low, taken for ball 1. Fastball away, laid off by McClure. It's 2-2. So let's see again. 14 plus 4 is 18. Plus 4 is 22. Sunfish are close to going 23 innings scoreless if they don't score one here. After being behind 0-2, McClure has fought back to a full count. Here's the pitch from Payne. Change up, misses low, and McClure will draw a walk. And that's the first time he's reached today. He's struck out his last 2 times up. 1 man on with 2 outs brings up Jesus Licone. Jaden Payne on that pitch. He's up to 90 pitches, so this will be his last inning most likely. Fastball runs high. It's 1-0. But hey, going 4 2/3 innings, allowing no runs off just 3 hits. He has walked 6, which has been his downfall, getting those pitch counts up, many full counts, or 4 pitch walks. As another one misses away to the righty Licone. Norris getting a bit of a hot foot out there at first, dancing around. 3-0 now to Licone. It's when the Sunfish walk a lot that they tend to do a little bit better. We talked about that back in Spearfish, but, you know, walking today has almost seemed hurtful to the Sunfish. 4 pitches to Licone, walks him aboard. Back-to-back walks, another 2-walk inning. That's the 3rd of the ball game. But every time, nobody has scored, and that will be it. It looks like for Jaden Payne as Shea Bennett makes his way out onto the field. We'll see if someone comes in. There's no one coming in from the bullpen yet. Looks like Bennett might just almost be coming out just to talk to his pitcher. unless we'll get a little bit in a moment. But walking 7 times, which is just above average for the Sunfish per game. So far, they have left 7 on base, and if these two are left stranded, it'll be up to 9 through 5 innings. And no, it's not taking out Payne. He's just giving his pitcher in the bullpen a little bit more time to warm up. 2 outs, 2 on for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Gannon Thompson, who was just shy of hitting another home run in his last time up, flew out to left. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. He was the closest to scoring all the way back in the 2nd inning, made it over to 3rd. Bottom of the 5th inning, Moo lead 3-0. A long ball would tie it up from Thompson, and he takes a big hack at that fastball down the pipe, but fouls it off. It's 0-1. Rest of the games across the league all underway. The Badlands Big Sticks, who claimed the second half Lewis Division title, will play the Stewart Valley Saber Dogs. Fastball taken at the knees for strike 2. They lead the Canyon County Spuds in the top of the 5th 2-0, while the Western Nebraska Pioneers lead 3-0 in Casper from Mike Lansing Field in the bottom of the 2nd over the Horseheads. 0-2. Fastball inside, taken for ball 1. Sunfish have played quite a few teams in this Expedition League, but throughout the season, not every team plays every team, and if you do play a team, doesn't mean you play them a lot. Change up, called strike 3. Right down the heart of the plate, looked like it might have been a bit high, and I think that's what Thompson was thinking. He goes down looking for strikeout number, I believe that's strikeout number 6, if I'm not mistaken, or strikeout number 5. Either way, Jaden Payne leaves 2 more stranded. Sunfish up to 9. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on base after 5 full from Sioux Falls. It's the Sunfish 0, the Moo 3. The lefty Darian Morphew leads things off in the top of the 6th inning from Karras Park on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. David Coyer bringing you all the action of this final series between the Sunfish and the Moo in this 2021 Expedition League season. Morphew fouls off a changeup into the glove of Declan Beers for strike 1. It still remains overcast in Sioux Falls. No rain is expected to fall tonight. It's just dark. Morphew lifts this one to center field. Forte there for out number 1. 0 for 3 is Morphew. That's his first flyout. He has struck out his last 2 times up. Speaking of 0 for 2, Austin Baskin ground to Cricket Danielson in his first 2 plate appearances. He's tonight's beer batter, has not struck out, but he is 0 for 2. You know, I think when it comes for beer batters this season, obviously it's too late to change this at this point. 1 away. Fastball taken for a strike. Actually, change up, correction. Got to give Lasso a bit more credit than that. Only 84 on the radar gun, and I know his fastball's about 86, 87. But for a beer batter, if a beer batter goes into the 8th inning or whenever you stop selling beer, if they have an at-bat, and when they come up for that at-bat, is this one shot over the head of JT Mixon to right field for a base hit? So it wouldn't happen in this situation, but if you're like 0 for 2, 0 for 3 headed into the final inning of alcohol sales, should get like 50 cents off of beer or something. He didn't strike out, but he didn't get on. You know what I'm saying? Got Assistant General Manager Zach Campbell next to me. Zach, what do you think of that?
About your idea?
Yeah.
I think we should give beer away for free if it's that close.
Is that, what do you mean that close?
To when sales are over.
No, that's fair. Heck, who can argue with free beer, honestly? Change up taken for a ball outside for the lefty Peyton Leeper. Leeper walked in the 2nd inning and scored. Flew out his last time up. Takes another off speed outside. It's 2-0. One away in the top of the 6th inning. Sunfish have gone 23. Math is hard. The 2-0 swung on and missed. Let's do that math again. 14 plus 4 is 18. Plus 5 is 23. I did it, Sean. It's taken me all season, but math, I got it. Finally got it. What I'm getting at is 23 scoreless innings since Tuesday for the Sunfish. High chopper over to second. No double play here. Mix will just throw it to first for the fielder's choice. Baskin was off on the crack of the bat, and the way that was getting to JT Mix's glove, he could have charged in and gotten it before it even touched the ground. It still wouldn't have been enough to get the double play. 4-3 fielder's choice brings up Ryan Hayes. Grounded out to end the 4th inning his last time up, but doubled in Leeper back in the 2nd. Moo still up 3-0. Only 8 hits combined for the two teams. Fastball low, it's 1-0. 5 hits for the Moo. Had 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th. 3 hits for the Sunfish. A 1-0. Half swing. Very late swing. Makes the count even at 1. They have 3 up on the scoreboard. I don't think that's correct. That is correct. I got to figure out where I missed it. Oh, there it is. Declan Beers singled in the top of the 5th. Forgot to write that down. 1-1. Half swing. Chopped down the first base line. It'll be foul. Jesus Licone bending down. Got the backhand in foul territory. So Sunfish in that 5th inning getting their first hit since the 2nd inning. That's my mistake for missing that. It just all happened so quickly that Declan was doubled up on the ground out by Wilson. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. Lassier kicks and delivers. Half swing, he went, says the home plate umpire. The throw from Beers to Licone bounces into Licone's glove at first for out number 3. Strikeout number 1 for Jacob Lassier. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up for the Sunfish. It's the 7-8-9. Forte, Frazier, and Cricket Danielson. Jaden Payne is out. James Raffoff is in. We'll get to him in a moment. Payne in his first start for the Moo this season, as Raffoff kicks and delivers a fastball away. Bit more zip on his fastball than Payne. 87 on the radar. But Payne allowed 3 hits, no runs, 7 walks, 5 strikeouts. 88 on that fastball from Raffoff in just his second appearance of relief for the Moo. He made his Moo debut on August 4th, and per Expedition League rules, if the Moo do make the playoffs, he is not eligible to pitch for them. Change up. This is below the knees of Forte. It's 3-0. But in that game against the Pioneers on the 4th, lays off of another changeup, but this time it catches the cornered. Forte now at 3-1. Raffoff, 1 inning, allowed 1 hit and 3 batters faced in that 8-1 victory. Changeup runs high, and Forte will walk for the 3rd time. Shades of Saturday night's game against the Casper Horseheads. In that game, Forte walked 3 times and was hit by a pitch in his first 4 plate appearances. He would end the night 0 for 2. But with 3 walks and a hit by pitch and 2 runs scored, that's not too shabby tonight, unfortunately. Forte hasn't scored. Dane Frazier swings at the first fastball he sees. For strike 1, he fouls it off. 3-0 is your score in the bottom of the 6th inning from Karras Park. Runner on first. Sunfish only 3 hits. They had 2 through the first 2 innings. Didn't get another one until Declan Beers led off with his single in the 5th. Forte raring to go. Does not go, though, as a slider misses away. Donis hasn't been all too aggressive on the base paths in the past few days. Fastball blocked in the dirt by Hayes for ball 2. Let's see. Stolen bases. He hasn't had a stolen base since July 18th against the Moo. This is his last game before the All-Star break. Otherwise, in the 1-2... Well, there he goes. I stand corrected. The throw from Hayes is going to be way late. Speak it, and it comes into existence. That's not the saying, but I'm going to make it one. Forte steals a base. First of the ball game for the Sunfish. And there's a runner in scoring position with nobody out. First time since the first inning that's happened. Tanner Wilson doubled left in scoring position back in the first inning. Now with, well, that actually was with 2 outs. This is the first time there's a runner in scoring position with nobody out. 3-1. Shot down the right field line into the Sunfish bullpen, actually into the glove of what it looks like John Baker in the bullpen. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Frazier, 1 for 2, singled in the second. Sunfish up to 23 scoreless innings now. Not trying to make it 24 as they got a man in scoring with nobody out. Now they got 2 on with nobody out. Last time they had 3 on with 1 out. It was in the second inning. 2 walks and a single.
Number 20, Dylan
Sunfish would leave all of them stranded. They've had multiple guys on 3 of the 5 innings thus far. Cricket Danielson not trying to keep that a trend. He walked his last time up, singled the time before, or struck out rather the time before. First pitch he sees, grounds it sharply down the third base line. Foul. Still high 70s at Karras Park, but the overcast has not gone away. Again, still, based on my phone, no rain until 4 a.m. The percentage has gone up, but it's only supposed to rain for 2 hours in the morning. It did rain last night, and actually there were small chunks of hail from what I've been told. Slider misses in the dirt. Forte was about a quarter of the way to third. Hayes, when he saw that, got up a bit quicker. Kind of shoulder to throw to second. You know, faked one just with his shoulder, rolling it. 2 on, no out. Bottom of the 6th. Potential tying run at the plate in Dylan Cricket Danielson. Time is called by Hayes. Getting on the same page with Raffoff, excuse me. And Raffoff, I don't think is spelt the way many people would. It's not how I would think it would spell if I was told it. Actually, it's a lot closer than a R-A-F-F. So everyone, I think, would have that. Curveball in the dirt, swung on and missed, 1-2. So R-A-F-F. And it's not O-F-F to close it out. It's A-U-F. I think that'd be, if you were playing, you know, a Family Feud style game on spelling last names, I think that would be top 3. Actually, I think that'd be one of the only 3 ways to spell it, unless it was like, well, I guess you could have O-P-H, A-U-P-H. Yeah. So A-U-F, I'd say top 3. Fastball taken in, almost hit Cricket Danielson. That one would have hurt. 88 miles an hour. He's been hit by faster and in much worse places than the quad. But he doesn't wear it. It just comes inside, 2-2 with 2 on. The pitch. Curveball taken high. Cricket Danielson has fought back to a full count. And Raffoff, after coming in to relieve Payne, is getting in a similar situation that his teammate was in. Payne walked 7. That's how he got his pitch count up so high. He was in the high 90s when he was pulled after last inning. The 3-2 up and in, and the bases have been walk loaded. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Sunfish will hate themselves if they don't get out of this one with a run. Shea Bennett walks out to talk to his pitcher. Again, one of the more brand new pitchers. Dane Frazier on second base. Gives the Go Yaks sign. Of course, Yakima Valley College, home of the Yaks. Out in Washington, and that's where Frazier plays some ball before coming out to Sioux Falls for the summer. And he said they a fun story from that. It kind of baffles me. I didn't realize schools did this, but Frazier was saying on the bus ride home that he doesn't have to report until like mid to late September. They don't have their first day of school till like September 22nd, something like that. And he said because their school works on quarters, not just semesters. Don't know how that would change something. So September 20th, I believe, is when they have their first day of school. Maybe even the 27th, a week later. That's just insane. It has nothing relevant to the game, but it's just kind of, you know, with a mound visit, something interesting to say. Nobody out. JT Mix has flown out 3 times. The last time almost took it over the wall. Grounds one sharply in the hole on the left side. That's a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Here comes Frazier rounding third. Morphew was slow to come in. He'll throw it to second. Cricket Danielson dives back in, and just like that, it's a 1-run ball game. 4th hit of the game, 2-run score. The Sunfish take advantage of the bases loaded via walks. Mix finally gets one on the ground, and I think that's where he thrives the most, is when he can hit ground balls sharply. And it typically gets bats some middle infielders, and even if it doesn't, Mix is all too quick to run him out, but that one got through as Baskin and Sears are playing closer to second for a double play depth up the middle. Declan Beers takes one high. It gets by Hayes. Got a piece of the glove. He almost pushed it over his head. It's 1-0 with runners advancing to scoring position. Two on, nobody out. 3-2 ball game. We're in for a treat here at Karras. Sunfish end their scoreless streak. 23 innings is what it ends at. So they scored 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Raffoff kicks, delivers. Fastball low. And I was saying it early on in the game, Payne's fastball topped out at about 82 miles per hour. And it's the slower pitches that the Sunfish have struggled with all season. They saw it against the Pier Trappers pitching staff, who some of their starters were throwing mid to low 80s. And the Sunfish just couldn't hit against it. 2-0. 87 low and in. It's 3-0. And so it's something like this. You get a guy out there who's throws an upper 80 miles an hour, and I guess the Sunfish just see it better. I don't know. Get their timing better. Many of these Sunfish players, Division II, Division I players, and so they see, even the JUCO guys, they on a daily basis see guys low 90s, high 80s. 88 miles an hour catches the heart of the plate. It's now 3-1. I even talked early on in the season with Gannon Thompson, who plays Big Ten baseball, or at least he redshirted this year. But even in the fall, he was seeing guys throwing 90 every day. There's 88 low, and Beers walks and loads the bases once more. Still nobody out. And it's Tanner Wilson. Doubled, walked, and grounded into a double play his first 3 times up. But Thompson said when he's seeing guys, throwing mid-80s, just throws off his timing. And when it works, it works. I'm not saying you need velocity to be a good pitcher. This league has shown that quite well, as many teams, I even was talking to the Fremont broadcasters, their guys struggle against some of the slower pitchers. Ground ball over to third, stabbed out of the air by Leaper. He'll go home, 1 out. There can't be a relay to first as Wilson ran it out. So just the force out at home, and Cricket Danielson ran so fast that home plate came up. I have not seen that once this season. I didn't realize home plate could come out. How about that? Ryan Hayes pushes it back in. Hopefully it's okay. It looks straight to me. Maybe a little bit crooked. The back left corner of the Pentagon almost looks like it's sitting up, as the home plate umpire and Hayes will tag team this one to try and get it back in. Here comes Norris McClure to squat down and help. How many ball players and umpires does it take to fix a home plate? The answer? I'd say 2.5. Norris McClure didn't really look like he did all too much except give some words of encouragement. So 1 out. Cricket Danielson got out on the fielder's choice. JT Mix advanced to third. Declan Beers to second. Wilson is safe at first on the 5-2. Bases loaded still. McClure takes a fastball away. 3-2 is now your score after the 2 RBI single by Mix. The Sunfish with 1 swing of the batter back in this one. Fastball up and away, taken for ball 2. I think I got a score update from that Wheat City Whiskey Jacks game. McClure takes a off speed, low and away, 3-0. 8-0 Whiskey Jacks. The Spearfish Sasquatch. Well, they've won 4 in a row, but are down 8-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. They just have 1 hit. It's a fastball right down the pipe. Makes it a 3-1 count. So 1 hit, 1 error, while the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, 8 runs off 8 hits. Slow breaking ball drops in, but not in the zone. It's ball 4, and Norris McClure is no stranger to walking in a run. In fact, that's the way that the Sunfish walked off against the Sabre Dogs earlier this season. And Shea Bennett will come out once more. It's a tie ball game at 3, and that's all she wrote for James Raffoff. He comes in, gets 1 out, walks in a run, allows another run off of a single, or 2 runs off of a single by JT Mix, and it's 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th. We'll return for Raffoff's replacement on the Sunfish Radio Network, the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Brendan Jones will be the man to come in after James Raffoff walked 5, struck out 0, and allowed 1 hit that scored 2. It's a 3-3 ball game. Lee Cohn swings and drives this one into the left center field gap. That'll fall for a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Here comes Wilson. McClure on his way to 3rd, and on the throw, Lee Cohn heads over to 2nd. Sunfish score 5 unanswered and come back and take the lead in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch thrown to Jesus Licone from Brendan Jones. Scores 2 of the 3 that were on. And it's now an even 5-5 hits. But it's 5-3. Sunfish now lead. Beers and Wilson scored. McClure headed over to 3rd, and it was a single for Licone. He advanced on the throw. Gannon Thompson, the 9th batter faced this inning, has 1 out with 2 on. Raffoff now credited with all 5 runs, and if McClure scores from 3rd, he will be officially credited with 6. The entire infield playing on the edge of the grass. Thompson takes a slider for strike 1. Struck out looking his last time up, flew out in the 4th. Runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. in the bottom of the 6th inning. We still got quite a ways to go. The Sunfish have blown bigger leads than this. Another slider misses in the dirt away. Sunfish have blown leads like this in just a singular inning. Remember back on that game here in Sioux Falls where the Moo would score 11 runs to take the lead late in, what was that, the 6th, 7th inning? Half swing on a fastball inside is called a strike on the swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Gannon Thompson. Jones, 2-0 on the season, 3.47 ERA through 14 appearances. 23 1/3 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, 13 walks coming into tonight's game before he gave up that hit to Lee Cone. Throws an off-speed that almost hits Thompson on the shoulder as it falls in. 2-2 now to the 6-7 Michigan State Spartan. Jones sets, breathes, kicks, delivers. Breaking ball falls to the knees. Thompson has a few words with the home plate umpire. He turns his back, or turns as he walks back to the dugout, has a few more words as he goes down looking 2 times in a row. Back to Adonis Forte, who led the inning with a walk. Dane Frazier, Dylan Cricket Danielson would walk as well. Forte and Frazier score on the single by JT Mix. Cricket Danielson wasn't so lucky. He was out on the 5-2 fielder's choice that was hit by Tanner Wilson. 1-0 is the first pitch to Donnie, misses low. So 5 runs score in this 6th inning. Plenty of walks to go around. Forte fouls one off. It's 1-1. In fact, there have only been 2 hits this inning. Just 2 hits. Scoring 5 runs. The rest, walks. 4 of the 5 runs were via the singles by Lee Cone and Mix. One of them was walked in. In fact, it was Mix who was walked in. Curveball misses a bit low and outside. It's 2-1 now to the lefty. The home plate umpire gives a stop sign over to the Sunfish dugout on a ball that misses low and away. Called a ball. Why would the Sunfish dugout be getting a warning? I'm genuinely curious. And it could be the good guy, Walker Bullington, or even one of the players saying, hey, let's better this up. That was a borderline pitch. I think it easily could have been called a strike to the lefty Forte. 2-1, swung on and missed. It's now 2-2. But honestly, what could be said there that a home plate umpire issues a warning, as he writes it down as well? He wrote it down in his official umpire notebook or whatever they use. Curious. Lefty-righty matchup. Here's the 2-2 from the righty Jones. Check swing. He said he went. A late say he went. Throw down to first. A bit high. Taylor pulls it down. Forte strikes out swinging on the drop third strike. The Sunfish score 5 off 2 hits. No errors. The bases are left not loaded. Just 2 in scoring position. After 6, it's the Sioux Falls Sunfish 5. The Fremont Moo 3. We lead off the 7th inning with the top of the order. Tyler Push leads things off once more. This is his 3rd time this game where he leads it off. It's also the 3rd pitcher he's faced. John Baker relieves Jacob Lassier. Lassier leaves the mound, and John Baker inherits a 2-run lead. Lassier in line for the win right now if the Sunfish can hold on to this one. It's 5-3 Sunfish. They scored 5 in the bottom half of the previous inning off of 2 hits. And I was told, and that was my fault for not thinking of it, Gannon Thompson, I think, was the one who was issued the warning from the Sunfish dugout, having a few words with this home plate umpire. Push swings and lifts this one to the right side, but that's going to go out of play. Foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. No, I'm not going to do the rooster noise. For those of you who were listening to my radio call in Casper, Wyoming, you got to hear me do the rooster call. It's no balls and 2 strikes. But if not, well, that was the only time I was going to do it, and we only have, 12 innings left. Ground ball over to second. Mix makes easy work of this one. Out number 1 on the ground out. Baker on the season. He's one of the newest pitchers for the Sunfish, making his debut against the Fremont Moo on July 17th. 2 innings allowed just 1 run, 3 walks, 1 strikeout in 10 batters faced. That was the 8-7 loss on the 17th against the Moo. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 11 walks on the season through 3 appearances, 12.46 ERA. And it's the Summit League matchup. The South Dakota State Jackrabbit John Baker against the Western Illinois Fighting Leatherneck Dylan Sears. Haven't said Fighting Leatherneck in such a long time. Almost stumbled on it. Of course, that's my alma mater, so I shouldn't be. Change up, called a strike on the inside corner to Sears. Dylan 0 for 2 with a walk. Was left stranded in the 3rd inning on 3rd base. Here's the 0-1. Misses high. We got Uno's Wild. I was waiting for it. You never want to cheer for it. You never want to cheer for a ball thrown by your pitcher, but if there's any case and you can get Uno's Wild, well, that was it. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to number 1, Dylan Sears. This is the highest. I guess I haven't made note of this yet. I noticed it when I looked at the initial lineup. This is the highest in the order that the Sunfish have seen Sears. He grounds one past Lee Cone at first for a single into right field. But Sears usually, and if I'm not mistaken, all season long in the games against the Sunfish, he has hit in the 9 spot. All season long for the Leathernecks at Western Illinois, he hit in the 9 spot whenever he played. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure Dylan played every game at second base this season for the Sunfish. Or not the Sunfish, the Leathernecks. But so he's batting second tonight, and that's the highest that the Sunfish have seen him. Well, it's working as he's gotten on twice now for his buddy E.J. Taylor. Taylor doubled and scored Tyler Push in his last time around. He takes a change-up low and in for ball 1. Actually, I believe. No, that was his change-up. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Sunfish up by 2 in the top of the 7th inning. I know I've been giving a bit more updates than I usually do, but I think it's time to take a quick trip around the Expedition League for the other teams. Fastball up and in, 2-0. In the bottom of the 6th inning, from Dickinson, the second half Lewis Division champions Badlands Big Sticks lead the Canyon County Spuds 6-0 from Dakota Community Bank and Trust Ballpark. In the bottom of the 7th from Kraft Field, it's the Weed City Whiskey Jacks 8, the Spearfish Sasquatch 0. That's big news for Fremont Moo fans. Because if both teams lose, then the Sasquatch still hold just a half a game lead over the Moo. But if the Moo can somehow come back and win this one and the Sasquatch lose, they will be leading in the Clark Division. It'll come down to tomorrow. A swing and a foul ball brings the count to 2-1. And from Casper, the Horseheads are on the board, but in the bottom of the 5th inning, they still trail 4-3 against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. So the Lewis In the past week, the Lewis division had their playoffs set after Mining City had their season cut short. The pitch from Baker misses low. It's 3-1, but the Tommyknockers, who had been contesting that second half championship against the Big Sticks, well, gave the Dickinson team, the Big Sticks, their second half title. So they will be playing the Sears Valley Sabre Dogs in the Lewis side of the playoffs, while the Western Nebraska Pioneers still waiting for theirs. A hard hit ball into left field falls in front of Dane Frazier. He'll play it off the hop. Another single for E.J. Taylor puts 2 on in the 7th inning. And in fact, on the Expedition League season, overall, the Sears Valley Sabre Dogs hold the best record out of any team. It's the most wins they've ever had in a season. Previously, they had a 40-win season, as there's going to be a mound visit before John Baker visits Luke White. It's Lee Cohn, Mix. Here comes Cricket Danielson. Norris McClure is just talking at second with Dylan Sears. McClure takes Sears as if he had the ball. Sears gives a bit of a chuckle. I can see your reflection, Nick. I know you're standing behind me. We got General Manager Nick Moen in the press box. Gives a wave in the window. Or he was waving at someone on the field. Who knows? You know what? It's the top of the 7th inning. We might have Nick Moen join us sometime this game, just for the second time this season. Talk about how the inaugural season went for the general manager. Baker kicks and delivers. Foul ball to the back netting. Taylor and Sears have singled, so 2 are on. The tying run, Taylor at first base in this 5-3 ball game in the top of the 7th inning. The Sabre Dogs, 44 wins, 18 losses on the season. The Sasquatch, 1 game behind at 43-19. Western Nebraska Pioneers have had a rough second half. Baker hits Luke White, and the bases are loaded. First hit batter of the ball game for the Sunfish. That's not too bad. 7th inning. Usually either they have someone hit by now, or unfortunately they may have hit somebody. Jack Simonson, 0 for 3, steps up with the bases loaded and 1 out. The Western Nebraska Pioneers started off the season as the first half champions at 23-18. 2 games ahead of the, well, actually, 21-9, 23-8. That doesn't sound right. That's 31-30. I guess that's half a game up. 1 game up. Something like that. Ball gets by Declan Beers, coming home is Sears. Beers will dive, and Dylan Sears steps over the glove. John Baker was there. Beers took the ball himself. Dylan Sears scores the 4th run of the ball game for the Fremont Moo. He took off and running, and home plate has come up once again. I didn't realize that was possible here at Karras Park. We might have a bit of a delay here, folks. So on the pass ball, or wild pitch, actually, I think that one will be credited. Sears scores. Taylor moves over to third. Double play ball is still in effect as Luke White is at first base. Runners at the corners with 1 out. Jack Simonson will take off his gloves. Coming from the on-deck circle is Darian Morphew. A large chunk of home plate-shaped turf, I think, came out from underneath the plate. Beers is now trying to shove it in. Here comes Walker Bullington, who's got a big smile on his face. We have played 30 games here at Karras Park, and there's Walker Bullington. Walker came in, got behind Declan, put his hands basically on his lower back just to make sure he was okay. Of course, Walker and Declan have that. They love to goof around with each other. More Walker likes to pick on Declan, have some fun with his catcher. Walker's got a home plate-shaped piece of turf, and one lucky fan may be going home with it. Probably not. I don't think Coach Huber of Augustana would be too happy with that if we gave away part of his turf. That was actually quicker than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, we got one out. 1-0 count. My right contact is giving me quite a bit of trouble here. Hopefully I get that one back in place. Throw over to first just to keep Luke White on. My right contact has gone straight up into my eye. There we go. 1-0 up and in. Baker almost hits his second batter of the inning. Nope, still bad. Well, in between innings, I'll be working on that contact. Sorry, fans. It's just bugging the crap out of me. Runners at the corners with one out. 2-0 count to Jack Simonson after that home plate fiasco. Righty-righty matchup. Baker checks over at first. Kicks, delivers. Fastball high. It's 3-0. Sunfish just lead by one. The go-ahead run, tying run rather, 90 feet away. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch to Simonson. Swung on. Foul tipped. Only one hand went up. Looked like Simonson just whiffed on it. But instead, the umpire saying, no, we got a piece of it. White was about to take off, while E.J. Taylor stayed put. Three balls and a strike now from Baker. Kicks and delivers. Fouls it off. We have another, now that I'm just realizing it.
That foul ball was presented to you by Ken Chicken. Order it. Bring it.
Oh, my contact folded in my eye. That is what happened. I got it out. Oh, that was a whole ordeal. Getting a pat on the back from Assistant General Manager Zach Campbell. Whew. And a pat on the back from Nick Moen. Thanks for joining me on that journey, fans. But we got the North Dakota State Bison Simonson and the South Dakota State Jackrabbit Baker. Ball goes past Declan Beers. E.J. Taylor will stay put on ball 4. And the bases are loaded. I think the toughest part of all this is getting the contact back in my eye where it doesn't burn. I've got to get a little bit of water on it. I'm going to say we're having technical difficulties, so if I don't talk for a pitch or two, I apologize.
Now batting the left fielder, number 7, Gary Morgan.
Darren Morphew now up. The lefty takes a fastball outside for ball 1. Sunfish scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. We've already given up 1 in this one. Tying run 90 feet away. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out. Swing and a miss on the fastball down the middle. The contact is back in my eye, but boy, does that not feel good. Hopefully it'll get better. I can see again. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Tying run 90 feet away. The corners are playing in for the Sunfish. Change up, misses outside. It's 2-1. Top of the 7th inning. Moo have already scored 1 on the wild pitch that scored Sears. 2-1 from Baker. Swung on and missed. Fastball blown by him high. It's now 2-2 to Morphew. RBI double in the first. Another RBI double in the second and 5th. Made it a 3-0 ball game. The Sunfish scored 5 off of a bunch of walks and a pair of hits. In the bottom of the 6th, 1 run scored on the wild pitch here, and that's how we got to 5-4. The 2-2. Swung on, lifted out of play. Count remains even. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Baker looking in, takes a breath. Kicks, delivers. Foul tip into the glove of Declan Beers. A strikeout for Baker. And with 2 away, the stress level has been lowered. As with 2 outs, any ball that's put into play that is stopped by a Sunfish will end the inning. Most likely, of course, that's stopped by a Sunfish, meaning any out, whether on the fly or on the ground or even a strikeout. Taylor, the tying run at third. Luke White at second. Jack Simonson at first. Austin Baskin is blown down. Fastball almost looked like it slipped out of the hand of John Baker. It did. Baskin stared down Baker. Baker gave a little double tap of the chest saying, "My bad." So 1-0. Sunfish already on their third pitcher, John Baker. The plan was for him to go 2 innings. He's struggled in his first inning of work, already allowing 1 run off of 2 singles, a hit by pitch, and a walk. The 1-0. Inside again, called ball 2. Mix and Mixlr up the middle, playing on the edge of the outfield grass. Lee Cohn and Cricket Danielson playing a bit back as well. The pitch, up and in, 3-0. Honestly, at this point, I would just, even before the 3-0, I would have put one across the plate, let him put it into play. Baskin just has a single on the day, 1 for 3. Honestly, at that point, hopefully, hope he gets it on the ground or in the air. That's easier said than done, but it's better than walking home a run. Fastball catches the inner part of the plate. It's 3-1. Baskin hasn't swung the bat yet on 4 pitches. Will he take another one? Or will he try and take the lead with a single? 3-1. Broken bat, slow roller. Cricket Danielson up in the glove, spins, throws, it gets by Lee Cohn. White scoring from third. Lee Cohn gets the ball. And the Fremont Moo are now up by 1. That broken bat piece was lined right at Norris McClure. He comes and gets it. I think the bat was split almost like right down the barrel as the home plate umpire, actually he was just given the ball. I thought he was given the other part of the bat. Basically half the bat is now handed to one of the players in the Moo dugout. The bat went further than the ball did. Taylor scored easily. Luke White on the overthrow to first scored as well. Jack Simonson is now at third. It'll be a single for Austin Baskin with Luke White scoring on the E5. It was a tough throw for Cricket Danielson. Honestly, he did his best with it. Charged in, had a tough play on it, and as he picked it up, ball runs high. It's 1-0. 6-5 as 3 have scored here in the top of the 7th. And when I said the Sunfish were up by 2, I meant, well, we still had a lot of ball game left, and this shows. Baker looks back at first. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss on the fastball. And if I were Baker, honestly, I would just focus on the batter at this point. He's been struggling a bit to find the zone this inning. We started at the top of the order. We're already on the man in the 8th spot, the lefty Peyton Leeper. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Swing and a miss on another fastball, up and in. 1-2 now. Righty-lefty matchup. Baskin at first, Simonson at third. Breaking ball drops in, catches the outside corner, and John Baker strikes out his second of the inning, but the Fremont Moo strike back. 3 runs, 2 hits, or 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. After the top of the 7th, it's 6-5 Moo, and it's stretching time from Karras Park. Back on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube, David Coyer in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Sunfish down by 1. Dane Frazier leading off against Brendan Jones, but we have someone else up here in the press box, someone we haven't had on in quite some time. It's General Manager Nick Moen. Nick, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. I'm real good. Not so much after that half inning.
I was about to say you'd probably be a lot better.
I would be a lot better.
Frazier takes one up and in. And Nick, so we've gone, this is game 63. We've made it. You know, first off, congratulations. We've made it to game 63. We'll see if we can make it to 64 tomorrow. But, you know, inaugural 2021 season, I think it's, I mean, for being a team that was supposed to start in COVID last season and then starts this season, the summer after COVID, where, you know, it still wasn't sure what the world was going to be like. You took over the reins, and, I mean, I'd say it was a pretty successful season. How do you feel after now that we're at the conclusion of the 2021 Expedition League season? Obviously, the Sunfish aren't in a position where we would have liked to have been at the start of the season, but, I mean, it's been a fun ride.
Oh, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You know, with these guys being on the road for the last 9 days, I mean, I obviously was working most of those days, but I had gotten to sneak away for a couple days up to the lake home that my wife and I have, and I was saying to her, I said, as fun as I'm having, I said, I miss these guys. And my wife had agreed. She's like, it's weird not having Walker around the house and him coming upstairs, hanging out with our daughter, and, you know, relating it to the season. I mean, you know, we had over 200 people here tonight. So, I mean, the attendance to end the year is obviously on a higher note here where went in waves. We'd go on the road for a while. People would kind of forget that we were here, but everything from, our corporate partners to our meal trade outs to all the hard work that my assistant general manager and I have done leading up to the season. It's a lot of fun arriving to the ballpark, getting to do this 32 times. You guys listening to Dave, obviously, home and on the road. And, this is such a wonderful group of guys, too. I've gotten a lot of texts from guys, even the guys that arrived to my house at 4 o'clock in the morning today to get their suitcases to get on a flight. A lot of hugs, a lot of, things I'll realize after everybody leaves that, it's going to be kind of weird how it's going to abruptly end here in a few days.
Dane Frazier gets rung up on a slider on the outside corner. One away, Dylan Cricket Danielson takes a fastball that gets by Ryan Hayes. And you kind of mentioned it there as Cricket Danielson fouls one off. What's that presented by?
Keg chicken.
Order it, eat it, crave it. There we go. You're the general manager. You're supposed to know these things, Nick.
I know. I had to leave it for you.
You kind of mentioned it, and I'm not sure if we brought it up the first time that you were on. You've been living the entire summer with head coach Walker Bullington living in your basement. You kind of alluded to it there where he would come upstairs, hang out with your guys, hang out with your daughter Elin. How has that been living with Walker? And I know it's been, let's keep it as PG as we possibly can for all of our listeners on the Sunfish radio network as Cricket Danielson swings on an off-speed for strikeout number 2 of the inning.
Yeah, it's been an absolute blast. I mean, to shed light on Walker a little bit, he is at Ren Lake College in Illinois. His wife is a Division I soccer coach in Mobile, Alabama, so they live apart. Well, she's been up 3 times this year, a week at a time, so she's actually spent 3 weeks with us, which has been awesome, too. We're actually going to go down in October to see them in Mobile when Walker's back down there for his birthday weekend. We're going to go watch Sam coach soccer. We're going to go out in the Delta. We're going to actually get together with a few of the Sunfish guys for lunch one of the days we're down there with the guys that are in Pensacola and in Louisiana. And it's been a lot of fun having him around. I mean, he's gotten comfortable in the basement, which is what I like. I get home a lot of days after we close up the ballpark, and he's just watching TV, hanging out on the couch, and we have a few hours just to kind of digest on baseball life. And he's become a really good friend of mine. It's been a lot of fun having him around.
Comebacker stabbed out of the air by Brendan Jones, a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're joined by general manager Nick Moen. He will return with us in the top of the 8th inning. Sunfish down by 1 against the Moo. David Coyer back on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Leading off for the Fremont Moo, Ryan Hayes. Austin Oblas now on the mound, relieving John Baker. Baker goes an inning, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs. Only one of them was earned. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. But back with Nick Moen as Oblas throws a pitch that's fouled off by Hayes. Back with General Manager Nick Moen. We're talking about and reflecting on this 2021 Expedition League season. Nick, speaking of reflection, what has been your favorite moment of this inaugural campaign?
It's got to be you on the mound, Dave. That was incredible. I mean, Walker and I obviously had joked about it in the basement for a long time, and then obviously throughout the season we had, mentioned it to you, coaching staff, chatting about it over a few beers, and then finally Walker was like, well, hey, I'm not sure about the number of guys that are going to be here late in the year. Are we really going to do this? I think you probably thought we were pulling your leg a little bit, and then we got to do that. The team embraced it, the interns embraced it, the fans embraced it, but that's one of my favorite memories. I mean, there's many, obviously, but, some of the things that, I think stick out is just the flexibility that you guys have all had. I mean, things with just, schedule changes or doing things here in year one and just different hurdles that we've had and challenges and, year one and hiccups and doing different things. And like I mentioned earlier, when there's 200 plus people here tonight on, a game when we've been on the road for 9 days and getting to develop a lot of friendships too. I think that's something that I've really reflected on, I think, already. Before you guys leaving, I wake up every morning at 6 a.m. with my daughter, and I, teaching her how to read books and stuff, and Walker's been telling her about all the different players and where they're from and where our broadcaster's from, and I listen to you guys on the radio, which my daughter enjoys because she just talks back on my phone when she hears you on the air. So it's just been a lot of different things that have kind of accumulated to be favorite moments. It's really hard to pick just one, but it's definitely going to be one of the most memorable summers, not just sunfish related, but it's also the first summer of my daughter's life, moving across the country, buying a house on FaceTime, taking a new job, getting entrenched in the city. I mean, there's a lot. It's definitely going to be a summer to remember.
Ground down to Norris McClure, brings up Tyler Push at the top of the order. Takes a fastball for a strike. He grounded out in that 3-run 7th inning. But all season long, you and Walker were talking to me about a contract. It's like, we'll get you an at-bat, we'll get you something. And, I took it. I'm just like, they're probably being serious. And I was getting excited. Like, end of the season, I'll get one, just joking. Like, it'll be cool. And then as the season went on, I'm just like, it might not happen. It might not happen. Like, I wasn't, upset that it wasn't going to happen. And then we were at Gannon Thompson's house for brunch. And I was, we were close to getting ready to leave. And I kind of come over. You, Walker, and Lane are sitting on a porch swing talking with some of the guys on the team. And you're just like, Dave, you're starting tomorrow. Or Walker said that. And he's like, Dave, you're starting tomorrow. And I'm just like, okay. And he's like, I'm not joking. And I'm just like, I know you're not. Okay. And then just throughout the day, I just wasn't sure. And then I even had my doubts. I'm just like, they've done some cruel pranks on me this season. And it got to even close to game time the night before. And I'm just like, if this is a joke, I'm going to be real. Because I had told everybody. And yeah. And then I pitched and swing and a miss. On a slider low, Oblas gives Tyler Push to strike out. And with 2 outs, it's Dylan Sears who singled and scored in the 7th inning. But I'm happy that I'm honored that I'm one of your favorite memories from this summer. That honestly is probably one of my favorite as well. If you had to pick a favorite on-field moment that didn't involve me pitching, what was your favorite on-field moment this season?
Gosh, there's a handful of them. I think, and there's video of this. I'll have to share it at some point. Walker's wife was here. We were playing Sears Valley. We had battled back a few times in that game. Got down a couple runs, came back. Got down a couple runs, came back. And Declan had got up into the box. We had ran a trick play, which had worked. We had a broken clipboard by the opposing coach. He had some words for me, thought it was a Little League move of this trick play, and I thought it was great, to be completely honest. And bases loaded, Declan came up to bat, and the batter before that had gotten hit. Some people had thought it was kind of intentional. We had a heated moment, and Declan had come up into the box, had a great at-bat, and he laced a double into left center field. And I don't think I had been so emotional in a moment outside of probably times that I was in the dugout myself. I coached for 6 years back in Minnesota prior to getting into scouting, and then prior to obviously taking this job as the general manager. And I didn't know this until after the fact, but Walker's wife had taken a video of me in that. So I'm clapping, cheering. We had just taken the lead against, a rival of ours, broken clipboards, the whole thing. And I just kind of thought in that moment, this is what this is all about. It just, our team had come together. I felt like it was one of those moments where we had gotten much closer too, just as a team. And I remember going into the dugout. We had won the series that night and got into the dugout, and it just it was a moment that kind of clicked. And I remember even Walker coming back to the house that night. We had gotten to the basement. We were normally just, crack open a beer, watch Sports Center highlights, or sometimes the TV's just off and we're just talking about life. And it just kind of was in that moment where I'm like, this whole thing has kind of come together. Like all our players were here at the time. You had just gotten comfortable on the air. We had gotten in a good groove with the interns, and it's just that moment. And maybe it's just because there's a video of it. And I remember Walker's wife sent it to me after she had gotten to the airport that night, and it just said, I absolutely loved this. And I thought, what an incredible thing. I mean, I know that's kind of a story telling just one singular moment, but it's definitely one that sticks out.
No, that's awesome. I don't think you've ever told me that. I remember that game vividly. That was the first walk-off against the Sears Valley Sabre Dogs all the way back. I think that was June 11th.
Yeah.
June 11th or 12th, something like that. That was Norris McClure's first game. He would go on to have the walk-off walk. And no, I was going to say, I think definitely two of my favorite moments were the two walk-offs against Sears Valley here at Karras Park. Of course, the walk-off walk, and then the first walk-off hit for the Sunfish, the JT Mix single. That was a heck of a ninth inning for the Sunfish. Declan Beers leads things off in the bottom of the eighth inning, but it's been a long way since then. There's been plenty of moments. I think another one for me. Well, there was always the recent one, JT Mix getting that line drive. I was happy. I loved that call. I had Dylan Cricket Danielson robbing a home run here at Karras Park against the Moo's Jack Simonson. I think one of the more exciting ones for me, and I've told him about this, he's no longer here, Kenneth Dutka, in his first at-bat, just took the first pitch he saw and obliterated it over the right field wall in Fremont. I think that one was one of my favorites. It's been a heck of a season, a lot of memories for the Sunfish. They're down by 1 in the bottom of the 8th against the Fremont Moo. But stepping away from the field, we've talked about yourself as a general manager, your first season as a general manager, as Declan Beers goes down swinging against Brendan Jones. What has been the toughest part through this 2021 season off the field? Or not even necessarily toughest part. What has been, let's rephrase that. I asked you toughest part at the beginning of the season. Let's flip it around. What has been your most rewarding off-field moment this season? So nothing dealing with the players, the actual game, but behind-the-scenes work with yourself, the interns, assistant general manager Zach Campbell. I'll say assistant general manager Zach Campbell about 4 more times this inning because he complained he wasn't on the fish tank. Assistant general manager Zach Campbell gets a job at Grand Canyon University and he thinks he can bully me around. Congratulations, Zach Campbell, the assistant general manager of the Sioux Falls Sunfish.
Yeah, we just broke some news on air. Wow, that's big time stuff. But yeah, I mean, all the other, going back to the memories real quick of what you said, JT and Dylan Cricket Danielson robbing that home run, there's so many of those things. But to answer your question about rewarding stuff off the field, I'd say a lot of the things that we do when the team is on the road, like this last 9 days, is leading up to the silent auction that we're having tonight, raising money for breast cancer awareness. Earlier in the season, we did a jersey giveaway where we had raised a bunch of money for Feeding South Dakota. We had gotten involved with Farmers Union Insurance. There's so many things being a general manager of a baseball team that it's the non-baseball stuff, actually, which is why I took this job. Moving here to Sioux Falls, raising a family here, buying a house, my wife getting entrenched at Avera Orthopedics, where she's a foot and ankle surgeon. We had kind of said, you know, hey, I could stay in the scouting world. I could stay at home. I was working remotely. I got to work for all 30 Major League Baseball teams when I was done coaching. It was a really good gig. And my wife had said, you know, I want you to get entrenched in the community. So it's, you know, going into year 2, not to give anything away, but it was things like developing a reading club, doing camps and clinics for kids, underprivileged youth, getting involved with the Boys and Girls Club. There's a lot of things that I want to do going into year 2 to just get our players involved when they do get here then next summer. And I've had a handful of these guys already kind of text me or talk to me in person about like, well, hey, if you're here next year, like I'd like to come back. And, you know, we don't know anything for certain in terms of coaching staff back or who the broadcaster will be, or like there's so many moving pieces. You know, we're not a Major League Baseball team where it's the same roster every year. And that rewarding aspect of all of that is like, well, you know, if we're making it a fun experience for the players, the coaches, the interns, it's what gets the word out. And our players, most importantly, in terms of the product on the field, if they have good experience and have a good time, that is what's going to attract more talent back into the Expedition League, which is obviously something that I want here in Sioux Falls.
It's been a heck of a season, and Nick, I'm going to say you've done an excellent job. Norris McClure lays off a fastball away after swinging at the first two outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Nick, you know, I think you've basically covered anything that I really want to talk to you about. You've been absolutely incredible, and whether people know it or not, all of this, including my broadcasts, have been thanks to you this season. You've done a heck of a job. Norris McClure is punched out on a breaking ball outside, and that'll be it with our time today with General Manager Nick Moen. If you need tickets or you just need anything, if you just want to call somebody and say hi, General Manager Nick Moen is your guy to do it. Thank you, Nick, for joining us on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. It's been a pleasure this season, my man.
Yeah, thank you. And one last thing really quick is I do want to thank Dave, the broadcaster, Sean, our video guy, Gracie, Callie, Kelly, and Matt, our interns. They've done a wonderful job. Our assistant general manager, our coaching staff, Walker, Lane, and Ty, our players, most importantly, they've made this a wonderful summer. And the last thanks I want to give is to all of your parents, allowing the interns to come here, trusting me, new season, inaugural things going on, a lot of moving pieces. You know, thank you. It's what you guys do that make me get up in the morning and enjoy what I do. So I know that's a long-winded thing, and we're in between innings here, but I appreciate it a lot. I'm gonna miss the hell out of this a lot.
General Manager Nick Moen will return for the top of the 9th inning after this. Three up, 3 down, 8th inning for the Sunfish sends us to the top of the 9th with Sioux Falls down by 1 against the Fremont Moo, 6-5. Word has it, and I'll just double check just to make sure, the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks shut out the Spearfish Sasquatch 8-0. The two teams are currently now tied on top of the Clark division. If the Moo win this one, they'll be up by half a game. 1-0 from Austin Oblas, who went 3 up, 3 down himself in the top of the 8th inning with a pair of strikeouts. Thanks once again to General Manager Nick Moen. He's done a heck of a job with all that he has gone through. Ground ball sharply hit, backhand by McClure. Throw over to first, the little stretch by Lee Cohn. puts Taylor down for out number 1. But whether it affected you directly or not, Nick Moen has been doing everything he can to make this the best summer ever for everyone. And with the amount of stuff that had been thrown at him, with some tough situations he was put in, he handled them like a champ. He made life as easy as possible for everyone here at the Sunfish, whether it maybe was a little difficult or whether it wasn't. So if you ever see Nick Moen or have an opportunity to reach out to Nick, our general manager, give him a thank you. If you've enjoyed these broadcasts, all of them have been in part to Nick and the opportunities he gave me as a broadcaster to be the voice for the Sioux Falls Sunfish in their inaugural season, and everyone else gave them their opportunity to play some ball here. The 1-0 swung on, lined into center field. Adonis Forte gets his first work in quite some time. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, nope, all the way in the 6th inning was the last time. That's just the 3rd ball hit out to center field tonight for out number 2. And again, thank you all you fans for listening this season. We got one more game. I'm not going to say my goodbyes just yet. We do have one more game. It's 6-5 for Jack Simonson, who's 0 for 3. Walked his last time up, was left stranded at 3rd in that 3-run 7th inning for the Moo that put them ahead. 84-mile-an-hour fastball misses low. It's 1-0. So Sunfish down by 1. Due up, Lee Cone, Thompson, and Forte. Can the Sunfish play spoil to the Fremont Moo, who currently need to win tonight if they want to have a chance of making the Clark Division Championship? Ground ball. Norris McClure was playing a bit more to 3rd than he was 2nd, and that ball gets by for a 2-out single. Two away in the top of the 9th with a runner on. The 8th hit of the game for the Fremont Moo. Sunfish have 5 hits, have allowed 1 error. That scored 2 on the broken bat grounder to Dylan Cricket Danielson. He did throw it away at first, so both runs were credited as unearned to John Baker. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Oblas looking to keep this a 1-run ball game for his Sunfish team. Sets up the belt, kicks, delivers. Fastball swung on. High, shallow left field. Norris McClure comes back with it and makes the catch. For out number 3, a 2-out hit does nothing as the Moo hold on to their 1-run lead still as no one else crosses. No run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Can the Sunfish walk it off at Karras or even tie it up and send us to extras? Or will they fall one more time headed into their final game? We'll see when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the live stream on YouTube. Bottom of the 9th inning. Jesus Lee Cone will lead things off. 1 for 3 with a walk and a single. He already has 2 RBIs. Grounds the first pitch he sees, low and in, down the third base line. That foul ball. The last one will be presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. 0-1 to Lee Cone. Sunfish down 6-5. He had his first 2 home runs of the season on the road, one of which tied up the ball game in Casper. Swings on a fastball. Foul tips. Barely nicked that one. Must have been so soft that only the umpire and catcher could hear it. It's 0-2. France and the United States playing in the gold medal game of the Olympics in men's basketball. Slider misses low and away. It's 1-2. It is a 2-2 ball game early on. The game just started. Still in the first quarter. Haven't called basketball since the Bucks were in the NBA Finals. High chopper over to third. Coming in is Leaper. Shuffles, throws, and it's a bullet into the glove of E.J. Taylor for out number 1.
Now batting the right fielder, number 33, Gannon Thompson.
That's 9 in a row, retired by Brendan Jones, dating back to his strikeouts to end the 6th inning of Gannon Thompson and Adonis Forte. He came in relief after James Raffoff allowed 5 runs. It'll be Gannon Thompson who fouls underneath a ball out of play. Three up, 3 down innings in the 7th and 8th, and now 1 away already. Slider in the dirt, evens the count at 1. Sunfish came into the game, hadn't not scored since the 3rd inning of Tuesday's game, would go 23 innings dating from Tuesday till today, scoreless. And swinging a foul ball again makes it 1-2 before they scored 5 in the 6th inning, taking a 5-3 lead. 3 would score in the 7th, and that's where we're at 6-5. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out to Thompson. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 away.
Now batting the center fielder, number 4.
That's strikeout number 7, if I'm not mistaken, for Brendan Jones. Brendan Jones, 3 2/3 innings. Or 3 1/3 innings, excuse me. Adonis Forte swings and misses. 3 1/3 innings. So that's, since he is not allowed a hit or a walk or anything, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 batters face, actually, correction. He did allow a single. That's my mistake. Swing and a miss on that one. 11 batters faced. He struck out 7 of them. 1 of them got a single. The other ones were out as well. 0-2 on the 86-mile-an-hour fastball to Adonis Forte. He's down to his last strike. The Sunfish down to their last strike. Here's the pitch. Taken for ball 1. Cowbells for the Moo faithful as they have traveled well. The 1-2 swung on, popped up. This should do it down the left field line. It's in the Bermuda Triangle. It'll fall. Forte's on his way to second. The throw into Sears' glove. The tag does not get him. Dylan Sears was frustrated with that one, slammed his arms at his side. It looked like he got the hand in time. He's now having some words with the field umpire. I'm not sure where that one, if I'm being an unbiased broadcaster, I'm not sure where that one missed. The throw was spot on. So Adonis Forte, I believe, will be credited with a double. He is. So now the tying run is in scoring position for Dane Frazier. Yeah, the throw in. That was from shortstop Austin Baskin, who I think called everybody off and tried getting the ball himself. Frazier takes a curveball on the inside corner for strike one. But he had a absolute hose of a throw to Dylan Sears, and the throw was so low that Sears just had to quick slam his glove down. A little bit of a tap. The 0-1 swung on sharply out of the ballpark. It's 0-2. Jones sets at the belt. Checks back at second. Kicks, delivers. This one hit high and deep to right field. Simonson going back. And that's gone! There it is! Dean Frazier, with his first home run of the season, walks it off at Karras. The Sunfish play spoiler to the Fremont Moo. 7-6 your final. .310 to the right field corner. Dane Frazier 0-2 at the plate. Hit it opposite field, and that left here quickly. They were down by one. Down to their last strike twice. Adonis Forte doubles. Dane Frazier sends it over the right field wall for a walk-off home run. First time in Sunfish history that they've had a walk-off home run. It's the third time. We've talked about it already today. Third time the Sunfish have walked it off at home, and what a way to do it. Dane Frazier with his first home run of the season in grand fashion. Second last game of the season, the Sunfish break a 5-game losing streak with a walk-off homer. Brendan Jones gets the loss. Austin Oblas gets the win. He allows one hit through just 2 innings, striking out 2. Sunfish beat the Moose 7-6 in their second last game of the inaugural 2021 season. They got one more game tomorrow against the Moo, and I don't even know what else to say. 6 runs off 8 hits for the Moo, no errors. The Sunfish win 7 runs off 7 hits, 1 error. The biggest hit of the night, a 2-run shot to right field to walk it off the bat of Dane Frazier. For everyone with the Sioux Falls Sunfish organization, I'm David Coyer. Thank you to Sean Henley, our producer, cameraman, media guy, media extraordinaire. We got one more, folks. 6:35 first pitch from Karras tomorrow. The Sunfish host the Moo. They're still a half game behind of the Spearfish Sasquatch as the Sunfish play spoiler. Dane Frazier with the walk-off homer. Have a good night, everybody, and go fish!